Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about my top 5 Star Wars Black Series figures of 2024. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector.
And if you like my content, please consider subscribing.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. As anybody who knows me knows, that's kind of weird to say, my favorite fandom is Star Wars. It always has been. It always will be. I love Star Wars. My biggest regret in my toy room is that I don't have a large Star Wars presence. I've got my retro figures over here. I've got a smattering of, like, I have my Jabba the Hutt Black Series set up on like one shelf, but I don't have my Black Series figures out and displayed as of yet, but we are slowly changing that when I'm upgrading the room. And eventually I will have all of my Black Series out. I love Black Series. I collect them all the time. But you know, they're coming out less and less. You know, we'll have like a spurt here of like 5 or 6 figures, and then we may not have anything for a few months. And so it's really hard to collect the Black Series figures right now. And a lot of times, you know, it's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes I want figures from a show that's out right now, but I won't get those figures for a year. And then other shows, the figures are out even before the show. Like I already have one of the Andor figures before Andor Season 2 comes out. I believe that the Skeleton Crew figures hit just before the show came out, but I'm still waiting on figures from the Acolyte. I'm still waiting on figures from Ahsoka Season 1. So it's just weird how it happens. But 2024 was a really good year for Star Wars Black Series, and I really need to get around to doing more reviews of Star Wars Black Series figures in 2025. If you'd like to see me do that, if you would like more Star Wars Black Series reviews on this channel, just comment down below and let me know. If I get a bunch of people saying, yeah, do them, I'll do them. But what are we wasting time for? Let's head over to the review space and talk about my top 5 figures of 2024. Okay, coming in at number 5 on my list is going to be Captain Enoch from Ahsoka Series 1. I absolutely loved this guy's design when I saw him on the show, and I was very surprised that we got this figure so quickly soon after the show ended. He does come in a 2-pack, and you do get a Night Trooper with him, which is another great idea. He's even currently on sale right now because of Christmas time at Walmart, and I picked another of these packs up, I think for like 15 or 20 bucks, which is, you know, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, that's a great price. I love the design here. I love that they picked up this idea of the Japanese art of, I think it's called kintsugi, which is this idea of like when pottery breaks, they put it back together, but they fuse all of the cracks with gold, making the broken item more valuable than when it was in its original form. JJ brought this into the Star Wars universe in The Rise of Skywalker when he brought Kylo Ren's helmet back and it was fused with that red. That's where that idea came from. So it's already been used in Star Wars once, but I love the way that they've done it here and applied it to this figure. Captain Enoch was very mysterious and enigmatic, and I think he kind of like stole the show anytime he was on screen. I definitely wanted to see more from him, and maybe we'll see some more of these Night Troopers in the future. But yeah, this design is weird and wild and strangely Roman-esque in the mask design, and to fuse all of this with a stormtrooper, I don't know whose idea this was, but it was absolutely brilliant, and this is a brilliant figure, and that's why Captain Enoch is number 5 on my list. Number 4 on my list is going to be taking us into the prequel era, and that is the Destroyer Droid. This thing is an engineering marvel. Now, it's not like masterpiece Transformer level, engineering here, but it is for Black Series. This is incredible. And, you know, you're going to need more than one of these guys to set up on your display, but the way that he moves and articulates and can turn into the ball and like all the little pistons move and everything, it's absolutely insane. insane that this is, something that we're getting in a mass market figure. I know he hasn't been the easiest figure to find. I think most people have been able to find him at, in stores, mostly at GameStops, but I've ordered a couple online, and yeah, this figure is just absolutely brilliant. It's something that we've needed in the line for a while, and I'm glad we're finally going back to the prequel era. 2024 has been great for the prequel era. We've gotten a lot of figures from that era of Star Wars that we've desperately needed on our shelves. Anakin, Padme, looking at you. But yeah, this Destroyer droid, just because of the engineering, had to make my top 5 of 2024. My number 3 on my list, we kind of knew was coming when we got the Doc Ondar figure from the Black Spire Outpost at Disney's Galaxy's Edge, and that's Momo Nadon, or Mamal Nadon. It always sounds weird calling this guy Mamal, because that's like, what Southern people call their grannies. But no, this guy is brilliant. We knew he was coming. There was no way they were going to mold that beautiful figure for Doc Ondar and then not give us this. And I want to take it a step further. I want the magistrate guy from the Book of Boba Fett now. That's another Ithilian. Is it Ithilian? Ilithian? Ithilian? Is that the race? I can't remember. Ithorian? Okay, there we go. We're going to get it. I'm 48, guys. There's a lot of names in Star Wars to keep straight. But I love this guy, from his sculpting, his detail, the color palette, the little bandana around his neck. This guy is amazing. I simply love it. And, yes, they did give him a trigger finger holding blaster hand, and he does come with a blaster, even though we never see him use that in the original trilogy. But thankfully, they also give him cups, because that's what we saw him. He was in a bar and he was drinking and enjoying himself. Probably had a long day, week at work, and he's enjoying with his buddies on the weekend at the bar. So, yeah, high up on my list, number 3, Mamal Nadon. Number 2 on my list is Emperor Palpatine, or Darth Sidious. The way he appeared in, Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith? I can't remember. Probably Revenge of the Sith, when he is in his battle with Yoda. I love that he has his lightsaber, and he does come with extra hands with the lightning coming out of it. I like the mix of soft goods, but also sculpted hood. I think this is brilliant. This is the way we ought to do it, because I love the soft goods, the way the robes flow, and you get, extra mobility and everything, and your sleeves don't look weird. But I love the way that a plastic hood drapes and frames the face. And I think this is the way you do it. Soft goods from the neck down, plastic cape from the neck up. That's the way to do it. This figure looks beautiful. It poses very well, and he has great shelf presence, and it's a figure that we've needed for quite a while. My General Gree and Yoda 2-pack is on its way from Hasbro Pulse, so I can't wait to get that Yoda to put with this guy on my shelf. He's going to look great. So number 2, Darth Sidious. And number 1 on my list is a figure in a set that I've wanted for quite a while. This is kind of like what I want to do with one of my figures that's going to be on my wants for 2025, so keep that in mind. But I love this. I've wanted a retooled Darth Maul ever since we got the very first one way back in Wave 1 of the Black Series line. He's needed a good update, and this is it. I love all of the soft goods that allow him to ride on his speeder. They went so far as to give us the speeder and the bracelet and the little seeker droid that he comes with. This is just a brilliant set. I absolutely love it. We have so desperately needed an updated Maul, and they didn't disappoint. They went with the deluxe treatment. This guy, it just has every bell and whistle that you would want on a Darth Maul figure. And this is my favorite look for Darth Maul, the way he looked in the desert on Tatooine. Hood up, flowing robes. And this was before we saw him with the extended lightsaber blade. He had that extra long handle. It makes him look very samurai, and I love this. That fight scene, I know that the ballet at the end between Darth Maul and Obi-Wan is the most beautifully choreographed fight, but I love that fight between Darth Maul and Qui-Gon in the desert. There's something brutal and samurai-esque about it. It's very Japanese inspired, and I dig it. So yeah, this set had to be tops on my list, because there's just nothing beating this set in the Star Wars lineup in 2024. All right, so I hope some of your favorites from 2024 made my list. And now we're going to be looking forward to 2025. What are some figures that that we need to see in the Black Series line in 2025? There's so many, and it was really hard for me to nail it down to just 5, but here we go. We're going to do it. Number 5 for me, number 5 and number 4 are going to be 2 figures that are grossly overlooked. I understand. It was like maybe Disney was just like, look, let's just move on past it. People didn't really care for it or whatever. There was enough backlash. I don't care. If somebody has been in a movie for less than 2 seconds and they get an action figure, I think it's about time that we get Finn from Rise of Skywalker. I absolutely love this look. We only have a couple of Finn figures out there, and none of them have the best likeness. None of them have like the best face printing technology. So I think it is really time that we get Finn in we have him from like The Force Awakens in Poe's jacket and the black pants. And then I think we got a Stormtrooper version. And then we got the version of Finn in his in the Imperial officer gear from like The Last Jedi, but we really need a really good Finn in adventure gear that he can go on adventures and have some space fun. So number 5 is going to be Finn. And what's Finn without his partner, Poe? We definitely need Poe from Rise of Skywalker. Both of them, I think, had the best looks of all of their characters in The Rise of Skywalker. This is just a swashbuckling, Indiana Jones, Uncharted Nate from Naughty Dog game, Uncharted look. We need these figures. These were central characters. How many Reys did we get? How many Kylo Rens have we gotten? And how many Poes did we get? I think we can count the number of Poes on like 2 fingers, right? We get like we got a Poe from The Force Awakens. And then didn't we get a Poe in like a flight suit? Or maybe we did we? Or maybe we didn't. Maybe we've only gotten 1 Poe. I don't know. We need another Poe. We need to get on this. Hasbro needs to give us these 2 figures ASAP. 2025. That's when I want to see them. Now we're going to go back to the original trilogy. I need Nien Nunb. He's going to be my number 3 on the list. I need this guy really badly. He's got to go on adventure with Lando. This guy just looks great. Such an iconic look. It kind of boggles my mind that we haven't gotten this figure yet. But this is one that I really want, and I think a lot of us really want. We've gotten him recently in the vintage collection, but I don't collect vintage collection. So 6-inch Black Series, let's make it happen in 2025. Number 2 on my list really could be my number 1, but a toy like a Kenner figure is really like pulling on the nostalgia heartstrings a lot for my number 1 slot. So she makes number 2, and number 2 is going to be Kay Vess, Nyx, and her speeder bike. I want a deluxe set. Let's make this a deluxe set. I dig this character so much that I've even made like a custom Kay Vess. I used like a Dr. Aphra body that I've repainted. And then Landspeeder Luke recommended using a Baroness head from the G.I. Joe movie. I sculpted a little bun and like her little lockpick. I bought a little Nyx off of eBay and I painted that up as well. So I have a little, a custom K and Nyx, but I need an official Kay Vess and the speeder bike. Like I said, make it a deluxe. If it's got to be more, that's fine. I'm sure one is coming. I'm sure we're getting one, but definitely 2025. I need to see this happen because I love Star Wars Outlaws. It's a fantastic game and I'm playing it through for the 2nd time right now. I absolutely love it. Need Kay Vess, number 2 on my list, but number one on my list is a character, a Dinsian from the Jabba's palace. It's a character that I had as a kid. I loved him. I always called him Squidhead, but I've since learned, of course, his name is Tessic. I need this guy in my collection. I have a little Jabba the Hutt throne room set up over here, and I desperately need him to complete that. I know he's not everybody's favorite. He's almost like an unnamed like background character, and that's fine. I think the Aqualish have taken more of a center stage in The Mandalorian, and so I was kind of hoping we'd get maybe some Mando versions of that would kind of lead to the fact that we would maybe get Tessic one day. I'm sure he's coming. But yeah, I need him in my collection. So that's my top 5 wants for the Star Wars Black Series line in 2025. What are your top 5 wants for 25? Let me know in the comments down below. And tune in tomorrow because we're going to be doing this again with another one of our favorite lines from retail, from stores you could just walk in and buy. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I super appreciate it. Please continue to check us out over at Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I'm your host, Mark, and I will see you in the toy aisles.